Hello dear students, let us continue the fourth chapter in the first unit, that is diversity in the living world, and the topic now you are studying is animal kingdom, which is fourth chapter in the first PU syllabus. And now I am explaining about the remaining general characters of the phylum Porifera. Poriferans are pore-bearing animals. They are commonly called sponges. They show cellular level of body organization. The sponges are asymmetrical. The sponges are acoelomates. They do not contain body cavity. The entire body of the sponges is covered or having the minute incurrent pores called ostia, one larger pore present called ossiculum. Through the ostia, water enters into the sponge body, and through the ossiculum, water comes out of the sponge body. Body wall of the sponge is consisting of three layers: outer pinacoderm consisting of pinacocytes, inner choanoderm consisting of flagellated choanocytes, which are also called collar cells. In between pinacoderm and choanoderm, non-cellular jelly-like substance is present, which is called mesohyl layer, mesenchyma or mesoglial layer. And this mesenchyma layer contains amoeboid cells. They transport the digested food from one cell to another cell. Apart from that, you have also studied the poriferans are characterized by the specific process called water canal system. Water canal system is nothing but it represents the movement of water within the sponge body. The water enters the sponge body through the ostia. It moves through the central cavity called spongocoel, and finally it is removed from the body through the ossiculum. The movement of water in the sponge body through the ostia into the spongocoel, then finally out through the ossiculum, represents the water canal system, or simply we can call it as canal system. The digestive system is absent. The digestion is intracellular and it is taking place in the choanocytes or collar cells. The circulatory system is absent. The digested food from one cell to another cell is transported with the help of amoebocytes. Respiratory system is also absent. Exchange of the gases occurs through the diffusion, and it is carried out by the plasma membrane, which covers every cell of the sponge body. So these are the characters that I explained in the previous videos. So finally moving to the remaining characters of phylum Porifera. So how reproduction occurs in the poriferans? Whether they are reproducing only by the asexual method or they are reproducing by sexual method also. Poriferans are primitive animals, but they show both asexual and sexual methods of reproduction, because asexual reproduction always helps in the production of more individuals within short period. ಕಡಿಮೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಗಳನ್ನು ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ asexual reproduction is the best method of reproduction. Then sexual reproduction ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕು? Whenever sexual reproduction occurs, it results in the development of new characters. ಹೊಸ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಗಳು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ, and with those new characters organism can show better existence in the environment. ವಾತಾವರಣದೊಳಗೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಬದುಕೋಕೆ sexual reproduction help ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ with new characters, so that both the type of reproductions are observed in the sponges. Then asexual reproduction, it commonly occurs by the method of fragmentation. This is not a new term for you. ಇದೇನು ಹೊಸದಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ, ಇದು ನೀವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರಿಂದನೂ ಕಲಿತಾ ಬಂದಿರಿ. ಫ್ರಾಗ್ಮೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? The body, this is entire animal body, sponge body. It is divided into number of pieces. It breaks off from the parent animal and may become new sponges. ಒಂದೊಂದೇ ಪೀಸು ಕಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಅದು ಕೊನೆಗೆ from each piece you can see the growth of the entire animal body. This method of asexual reproduction is nothing but fragmentation. Then ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಆಫ್ asexual reproduction ಅಂದರೆ ಗೆಮ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್. ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಸ್ಪಾಂಜಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಬಡ್ಡಿಂಗೂ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಹಿಯರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಔಟ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಬಡ್. ಬಟ್ ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಪಾಂಜಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ asexually ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಬಡ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಈ ಬಡ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಹೊರಗಡೆಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಬಡ್. ಗೆಮ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ collection of amoebocytes within a hard protective outer layer. So this is the image of gemule. ಇದು ಗೆಮ್ಯೂಲ್ದ ಇಮೇಜು. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಬಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಇದು ಹೊರಗೆ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ವೆನ್ ದ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಪಾಂಜ್ ಬಾಡಿ, ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪಾಂಜ್ ಬಾಡಿನ ಸೆಕ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಹಿಯರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಸಮ್ balloon-like structures here and there, and these green structures are nothing but they are the gemmules. So gemmules are internal buds. They cannot be seen from the external side. ಹೊರಗೆ ಕಾಣಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಈ ಗೆಮ್ಯೂಲ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, the sponges undergo asexual method of reproduction. So asexual reproduction is very common among the sponges, and asexually the sponges show two methods of reproduction. One is fragmentation and another is gemule formation. Then moving to the next one, the one more new term is here. Sponges are hermaphrodites. What it means? This is new term, hermaphrodite. This means male and female sex organs are seen in the same individual. Male and female sex organs are present in the same individual. Such animals are called hermaphrodites. hermaphrodite ಅನ್ನೋ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಒಂದೇ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಮೇಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ನು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಅದೇ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ನು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸಚ್ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ hermaphrodite. See here, but produce eggs and sperms at different times to avoid the self-fertilization. This is called sequential hermaphroditism. What it means? See, ನಾ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಒಂದೇ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಮೇಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ನು ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ನು ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಮೇಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ನಿಂದ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವೆ. ದ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ನಿಂದ ಎಗ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಎಗ್ ಈಸ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್. ಮೇಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸು ಒಂದೇ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ ಒಳಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ದೆರ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್? If the sperm and egg produced from the same animal fuse with each other, it is called self-fertilization. Male and female gametesಗಳು ಒಂದೇ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವು ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Even though the sponges are hermaphrodites, remember they avoid the self-fertilization. ಮೇಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸು ಒಂದೇ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ, ಸ್ಪಾಂಜಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಹರ್ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ರೋಡೈಟ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವು ಏನು ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವೆ? ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಅವಾಯ್ಡೆಡ್. ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ದ ಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ಎಗ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಟ್ ಎ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಗ್ಗನ್ನು ಒಂದೇ ಸಾರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಟೈಮಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವೆ. ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಗ್ ಆಕರ್ಸ್ ಅಟ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಮ್, there is no chance for the self-fertilization. And this process is called sequential hermaphroditism. ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ ಹರ್ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ರೋಡೈಟ್ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನನ್ನು ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ವೆನ್ ಎಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಅಟ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್, ದಿಸ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಹರ್ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ರೋಡೈಟಿಸಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಸಿಕ್ವೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಹರ್ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ರೋಡೈಟಿಸಮ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಟರ್ಮ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಸಾರಿ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ till the completion of all the classes and phyla of animal kingdom, all these terms are repeated. Fertilization is internal. What it means? Fusion between sperm and egg. The sperm represents male gamete and egg is the female gamete. When sperm and egg fuses inside the animal body, egg and sperm the madhya fusion ಅನಿಮಲ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗಡೆಗೆ ನಡೀತಿದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್. ನಿಮಗೆ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಕಲ್ತೀರಿ, ಬಯೋಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಒಳಗೂ ಬಂದದ. ವೆನ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್, ದ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್. ಅದು ಅನಿಮಲ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗಡೆಗೆ ಫ್ಯೂಜನ್ ನಡೀತಿದ್ರೆ ಸಚ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ the development is indirect. Again, new term. Development is indirect and includes a free swimming larva. What it means? Development na ಎರಡು term ಒಳಗೆ describe ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. Either the development is direct or the development is indirect. Then question is, what is the meaning of indirect development? ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ವೆನ್ ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್, ಆ ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಇದ್ದದ್ದು ಲಾರ್ವಾ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆದರೆ, ಲಾರ್ವಾ ಅನ್ನೋ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಬರಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಲಾರ್ವಾ ಲೇಟರ್ ಇಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಅಡಲ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್. ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನಿ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್, if larva is produced in the middle of developmental process, such development is called indirect development. Hope you are getting my point. Organism development ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಲಾರ್ವಾ ಅನ್ನೋ ಅಂಥದ್ದು ಬಂದರೆ, ಲಾರ್ವಾ ಅನ್ನೋ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈ ಪೋರಿಫೆರೆನ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಎರಡು ಥರದ್ದು ಲಾರ್ವಾಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಒಂದು ಪ್ಯಾರಂಕೈಮುಲ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅನದರ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಂಫಿಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟುಲಾ. ಸೊ ಬೋತ್ ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಲಾರ್ವೆ ಆಫ್ ಪೋರಿಫೆರೆನ್ಸ್. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, in the poriferans the development is indirect. That means the development includes a free swimming larva. If the development occurs through the larval stage, that kind of the development is called indirect development. Internal fertilization means the fusion between male and female gametes occur inside the animal body. That kind of the fertilization is called internal fertilization. And during the development of an organism, if the larval stage is produced, that development is called indirect development. So let me show the life cycle once again so that it will be clear for you. This is one sponge animal, one porifera, where it is producing the sperms. From this animal or from this sponge, the sperms are produced. The adult sponge releases the sperm cells. They swim in the water, they come in contact with the other sponge, and sperm enter another sponge and sperm cell fertilizes the egg. Here is the egg. See, even though the sponges are hermaphrodites, ಈ ಸ್ಪಾಂಜ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗೂ ಎಗ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಈ ಸ್ಪಾಂಜ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗೂ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಬಟ್ ವೈ ದ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅದರ್ ಸ್ಪಾಂಜ್ ಆರ್ ಎಂಟರಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಬಾಡಿ ಆಫ್ ಸಮ್ ಅನದರ್ ಸ್ಪಾಂಜ್? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಗ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸ್ಪಾಂಜಸ್ ಟು ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಈ ಸ್ಪಾಂಜಿಂದ ಬಂದಂಥ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸು ಈ ಸ್ಪಾಂಜ್ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ and it result in the formation of larval stage. And here you can see some star shaped structure. This is nothing but a spicule. It is the skeletal system of the porifera, and here you can see the flagellated cells, and they are nothing but choanocytes, and in the center this is the cavity called the spongocele. The larva develops, and that larva, it is carried away. A larval development complete adaga, it comes out of the sponge body. ಯಾವಾಗ ನೀರು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಆಸಿಕ್ಯುಲಮ್ದಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ, larva also come out, and that larva, when it comes in contact with the hard surface, that is substratum, it grows into adult animal, that is adult sponge. So adult sponge direct agi barlilla, that adult sponge is developing from the larva. Therefore the development in porifera is called indirect development. As the development occurs through the larval stage, the development is called indirect development. Then examples of the porifera. What are the common names for them? This is the cycon. It is photography image, and this is real cycon, which is also called scypha. Another is spongilla. This is alone freshwater sponge. These are the images given in NCERT book, and this is the real image. The spongilla is called the freshwater sponge. So this is spongilla, which is the example for freshwater sponge. Alone, this is example for the freshwater sponge. See how it looks. All the sponge body is covered by ostia, and this is ossiculum, the one large opening. And one more is euspongia, and this euspongia is called bath sponge. Euspongia bath sponge anta karitara, and this is the image. Here also you can see the pores. So these are the images, and these are the real images of the members of the phylum Porifera. What are the different examples? Cycon, which is called scypha. Spongilla is example for freshwater sponge, and Euspongia is known as bath sponge. Then last information. What are the special features of poriferans and some other examples? The entire body of the sponges is covered by or having minute pores called ostia. Entire body. The spongocele is the central body cavity, and canals are lined with choanocytes, which are also called polar cells. Body wall is supported by a skeleton made up of spicules and spongin fibers. The other examples are Euplectella. This is called Venus flower basket, and it is used as gift item in the Japan. Hylonema is called glass rope sponge. It is used as a decorative material. So these two are also belonging to the phylum Porifera. So these are the characters with respect to the study of phylum Porifera. Let me revise all the characters of the Porifera in brief. The poriferans are the pore-bearing animals. They are commonly called sponges. They are mainly growing in the aquatic habitat. They are mainly inhabiting the marine water. They are sedentary. They show the cellular level of body organization. Tissues are absent. The sponges are asymmetrical. The sponges are acoelomates. The body of the sponges is covered by minute pores called ostia, and ostia are the incurrent pores. They contain one large excurrent pore called ossiculum. Water enters into the sponge body through the ostia. It circulates in the central body cavity called spongocele, and it is removed through the ossiculum. The movement of the water in the sponge body through the ostia into the spongocele, then through the ossiculum, is called water canal system. The body wall of the sponges is made up of 3 wall layers. Pinacoderm is the outer layer, which is made up of pinacocytes. Choanoderm is the inner layer, which is made up of the flagellated choanocytes, which are also called collar cells. In between them, mesenchyma layer is present and it contains amoebocytes. The digestive system is absent. Digestion is intracellular and it is taking place within the choanocytes. The respiratory system is absent. Gaseous exchange is carried out through the diffusion and which is carried out by the plasma membrane present around the cells. Circulatory system is also absent. The digested food particles from one cell to another cells are transported through the amoebocytes which are present in the mesenchyma. The sponges show reproduction, both asexual and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is by fragmentation as well as by the gamete formation. The sponges are hermaphrodites. Both single animal contain both male and female sex organ in the same body. The egg and sperms are produced at different time to avoid the self-fertilization, and the fertilization in sponges is internal. The fusion between male and female gamete occurs inside the animal body. This is called the internal fertilization, and in the development of the sponges, the larval stage is produced. Therefore, the development is called indirect development. The sponges are having internal skeletal system, and that skeletal system is either made up of the spicules, which are made up of calcarea or silica, and the skeletal system may be also made up of spongin fibers. Sometimes the skeletal system is made up of both spicules as well as spongin fibers. Some examples for the poriferans are cycon, then spongilla, which is example for the freshwater sponge. Spongilla is example for the freshwater sponge, and Euspongia is known as bath sponge. And other examples of the phylum Porifera, Euplectella, which is called Venus flower basket, and Hyloneuma, which is called glass rope sponge. So these are the general characters of the phylum Porifera along with the special features and particular examples. Hope this explanation is clear for you. Rest of the things I will continue in the next video. Thank you.